Welcome back to the news today. This is One-on-One. Within the chaos seen across the Middle East between the coalition to fight the Islamic State to the Arab coalition in Yemen and in Iran, between it all, the issue of arms is more important than ever. And Israel is preparing for the next challenges sure to come. My guest tonight is Pnini Yungman, director of Israeli company Rafael's Missile Defense System Directorate. Good evening. Thank you very much for coming.
Good evening.
Pini, you know, there were some times where we said, and maybe the sentence, boots on the ground, we said that it's not relevant anymore because there will be systems, there will be arms that basically will change the entire fight on the ground system. This is where the next challenge of where Israel is going, or maybe I'll put it in a different way. This is why Israel is allowing itself to sit on the fence and not actually intervene with all the chaos that is happening in the Middle East.
I don't think this is the answer to what you asked, but since I'm dealing with missile defense and systems that intercepting missiles, rockets, and other threats, I can tell you that in the last maybe 40 years, the combat, the regular combat that we had in the past, like in Yom Kippur war, or 67 war, or even later, we're in a different situation. The different situation is that now we are dealing with a new threat. Actually, it's not new, as I said. It's 40 years, maybe less. But new threat, it means that the regular fight that we got used to it in the past changed. Now we can be threatened by countries far away from the Israeli border. Of course, we are threatened by rockets from Gaza Strip, as we faced in the last event in Tzuk Eitan, defending age, or the English name, I don't remember exactly, but the last July and August fight. Of course, we remember the 2006, the Second Lebanon War.
We can say definitely that Iron Dome changed the rules of the game, because if Iron Dome wasn't around in the last two, let's say, clashes between Israel and Hamas, between Israel and the Gaza Strip, let's say that maybe the war would have ended up in a totally different way and not actually in the benefit of Israel.
Maybe. I can agree with what you said. It's a game changer. Okay, the Iron Dome. But look what happened in the last month. We tested the next generation technology, the David Sling system. Very successful test. So actually, we have the Iron Dome as the first layer in the multi-layer defense that the government of Israel decided to defend Israel against rockets and missiles. So we have the Arrow as the upper tier, the upper layer. We have the Iron Dome. And in the last few weeks, we had a successful, very successful test against threats that we probably, we don't want to, but we can face against them. We will need to intercept such a threats. And what we did in the test, actually, we brought the system to be reality.
Which means what? It's intercepting what? Missiles? It's intercepting...
Missiles, exactly.
But
missiles,
a specific missile that can cause a lot of damage?
Any kind of missile. Actually, the David Sling system developed to defend Israel and zones against any kind of threat.
Ballistic missiles?
Ballistic missile, cruise missiles, and other missiles that can threaten Israel and intercept them very far away and in high altitude. It means that we have now, today, we will deliver the system in, very soon to the Air Force, and they will operate the system. But actually, we have more than 2 layers, more than 3 layers we will have to defend Israel against such a threat. You mentioned that Iron Dome is a game changer. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
this is also a game changer.
Exactly.
You're not worried that, or I believe a lot of people are in Rafael and in the defense system of Israel are worried that the neighbors are watching what Israel is capable of and what Israel is developing, and maybe developing something bigger, maybe developing this anti-David slink.
Very good question. Actually, we are developing the systems, first of all, with the next generation technology and for the next generation threats. Not only for the threats that exist now in the arena, but also against threats that we think that our enemies.
So you're thinking in the mind of your enemy. You're basically trying to put yourself in the shoes of your enemy.
We understand technology. We, Rafael, as an industry that playing as a prime in David Sling and playing as a prime in developing Iron Dome, actually the best engineers in the world, I think, the best missile engineers, the best system engineers. Actually, we're developing through these eyes, as I mentioned, trying to understand technology. We know technology. We know technology. Trying to figure out what will be the next generation threat.
What will be the next generation threat? Because with what we're seeing, with the chaos that is happening all around the Middle East, missiles, chlorine, the use of chlorine gas, the use of chemical weapon, the use of just, ballistic missiles or just regular missiles to destroy, and yet it's killing thousands and thousands of people. And maybe these systems were supposed to be created to prevent the mass killing of people. What is the next generation?
Next generation, as far as I can say, is the same, more the same, but better technology, improving the ballistic missiles, improving the cruise missiles, improving the warheads, with maybe different warheads, with warheads for mass destruction, as you mentioned. And this is why we are investing a lot in defending our country against such threats.
And
this is why we are using 3 layers: intercepting out of the atmosphere with the arrow, and intercepting far away, maybe out of the country, missiles that will not, even the debris, even the side effects will not hit the Israeli civilians. And of course, the defense of the Iron Dome, that defending very close to the cities, very close to the civilians, and gives us what you saw in
some of our viewers right now will watch us, maybe our viewers from the United States, and they will say, well, a lot of this is thanks to the United States and thanks to the support of the United States. And unfortunately, the relationship between Israel and, let's say, the diplomatic relationship between Israel and the United States are suffering some kind of a crisis. Let's say, I think that they're going to a lawyer to try and solve this crisis. How it's affecting in this level, in the level of you trying to develop the best protective, let's say, system to Israeli citizens, to the security of Israel, how it's affecting your daily job?
I will tell you something. We have today the best support than we ever had. I can tell you that the president of the United States in the last few years supported Israel with budgets. Actually, more than I experienced in my career. So I can tell you that the relations between the industries, actually I need to mention that we have major partner in the United States, Raytheon company. We have our customer, the MDA, the Missile Defense Agency, and the other side, I mean the American side. In the Israeli, it's the Israeli Missile Defense Organization. Their relations are the best. It's amazing. I see news, I read the papers, but really, actually, in our level, in the actual level that developing and operating and producing.
It's amazing to hear that. At least it's less worrying than what we are hearing in the news. Maybe Barack Obama, and something is right. The relationship between the United States is still taking care of its only ally in the Middle East. Thank you very much for coming to the studio. Thank you, our viewers, for being with us tonight. Tomorrow, we're here again. Good night.